getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm ready to win, yeah. Refuse, bond, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for that doubt, they counted me out.
Y'all not loud enough. Come on. All right, there we go. Hey, look, y'all. Welcome to Unfazed, man. We are so excited. It's Unfazed with JJ and AJ. Got my boy AJ here with me, man. This is the very first episode. AJ, I'm excited, man. What about you? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm geeked. You know, we've been talking about this for a minute, man. It's been like a year or so in the making. Ever since the MJ and Bron debate, it's like, yo, we might have to get on the same show together. I don't know. So it's a long time coming, man, and I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy for this opportunity to work with Refuse to Lose, and it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a great show, great first episode, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm super excited.
Yes, sir, man. You know, I gotta give you a little shout out. You know, I have to give you a shout out. My boy AJ tied a knot. You know, showing the jewelry,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Just like the background. Y'all see the logo? I want y'all to let us know how y'all feel about the colors, the logo, and stuff like that, because we're excited about that, man. It represents the show. But look, though, we got to get right into it, AJ, because people, look, I know they're excited about us being on the same show, because, you know, we had a little preview in the Instagram chats earlier how the show's going to be.
Facts.
But they want to say, hey, what y'all going to talk about? Now, we are not a prediction show. We're not going to be doing predictions every show and all that stuff, but we got to lay the foundation for the NFL season. As y'all know, the NFL season's coming up. Matter of fact, AJ, you ready for next Friday?
Almost that. Come on now. Our birds on the television screen. Come on now, man. You see the birds in the background there, man. We let's save it, Joe. Let's save it. Let's not get too deep into it now. You know what I mean? But if you know me, you know how I'm feeling. You know how I'm feeling, man. I'm geeked. I'm most definitely ready. So, you know, let's get to it, Joe, man. We don't want to keep the folks waiting too long. You know what I mean?
That's good, man. Y'all see the teams. You know. Now, look, these are not Laker colors. This is Unfazed colors, all right? So relax with it. Y'all can see the same thing about the Commanders, all right? But anyways, let's get to it. So, look, we are going to predict every division. So 1 through 4, we're going to predict the division. So don't get mad when your team is at 4. Be excited when your team is at 1. But we're going to kick it off with, in my opinion, you probably disagree, AJ. I know we was having a lot of arguments last year about this division, but I got to concede, man. The AFC North, the best division in football. Got to be honest. Best division in football. Let's make our predictions. AJ, let me hear yours. Who you got 1 through 4? Or 4 through 1?
4, I got you. Man, I honestly do. Joe, I don't really want to do this, bro, because as you know, there's been a whole lot of slander thrown towards my team from certain Ravens fans. But I you know, before I got on the camera today, I told myself, I said, AJ, you're not about to get in front of this camera and cap for the sake of capping. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I want to take the trolling out of it, and I just want to be real about what I think is going to happen within this division. So I got the Browns finishing last because defense is great. We're not denying that defense. I don't think that defense is going anywhere. But Deshaun Watson, I got to see more. I got the Steelers coming in third. You know, I like the addition of Russell Wilson. I like what I saw from him last year. I think he had a pretty solid year last year. I got the Bengals coming in second. One of the biggest reasons why I have the Bengals coming in second is because of this situation with Jamar Chase. Like, we don't really know what's going on with it right now. Now, do I believe he'll get re-signed? Of course. Do I believe he'll play? Of course. But until that happens, I can't say you're going to dethrone the Ravens right now. I just can't. You know, coming off of an AFC Championship appearance, Lamar Jackson just winning MVP. You know, they lost a few pieces, but at the end of the day, like, the Ravens are the team now to beat in that division. I think they'll come back hungry. They just added, you know, Derrick Henry. It's hard to bet against them. We know that defense is elite. Again, the rushing attack going to be crazy with Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield. So that's just how I'm seeing it. I wanted to go against the Ravens, Joe. I did because you heard the slander, bro. But I'm like, I'm gonna be real about it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see the Ravens all of a sudden falling off. I actually expect them to come back even more hungry after losing in the AFC Championship game. So I see them finishing first, and the only team that can really dethrone them is the Bengals. But I gotta see Jamar on the field. I gotta see him on the field, and I gotta see Burrow healthy again. So that's how I see it. I got Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns.
Now, Jamar Chase, he already came out, I think it was today, and he said that I'm gonna be a Bengal most likely for my whole career. I'm gonna
Okay.
be a Bengal for life. So he already said he's gonna be a Bengal. So I think they'll be okay. I think he's gonna be on the field.
Okay.
Now me, we got a little slight difference.
Okay.
Sorry, for those who know, my brother is Javon. Shout out to RBO. He's a Steelers fan. I got y'all four.
Uh
Got the Steelers at four. I'm sorry. Got
oh.
the Steelers at four. Just like last year. They are four. Now, we talking about uncertainty at the quarterback position. I mean, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, both of them didn't look too good in the preseason. The offensive line is still shaky. Now, I get it that defense with TJ Watt is going to be ruthless. Well, they weren't ruthless last year. TJ Watt was ruthless at times, but can he stay healthy? All right. But I got them at four. And I got to put the Browns at number 3. Now, although Deshaun Watson, I'm so unclear of, the Cleveland Browns in this division probably have, you take away the quarterbacks, they have the best roster. You take away the quarterbacks. Don't forget, they already have Mari Cooper. They added Judy. All right, so that was a huge pickup for them being a second receiver. Nick Chubb is hurt, but we know with that offensive line with the Cleveland Browns, no matter running back by committee, no matter who's that running back. Now they're not Nick Chubb, but they will still have a top 5, top 6, top 7 type rushing game. And that defense is ruthless. That secondary is really good. Myles Garrett is coming for that Defensive Player of the Year award. So I think the Browns are going to be good, just like last year. So I got them at 3. Number 2, Joe Cool. Joe Cool and them boys, just like you said. The Bengals. I got the Bengals at number 2. I feel like the Ravens and when Lamar and Joe Burrow is healthy, Lamar has been winning that matchup. All right, so I gotta think about that. Although the Bengals every year, AJ, they start slow. Every year.
Yep.
They start slow, but they finish the season strong. And then, like you said, the Ravens, they added Derrick Henry. The defense is still going to be great. Kyle Hamilton is going to get better. He's still young. Roquan, another year in this defense. Now, they did lose a defensive coordinator, but I believe someone within one of the position coaches got promoted to defensive coordinator. So they're not going to miss a beat. So I got the Ravens finishing first, but the Bengals are like a close second.
Yeah, we agree for the most part. Only part we didn't agree on is the Steelers and the Browns. And I just look at it, the Steelers finished 10-7 last year. Browns finished 11-6. Russell Wilson worth a game difference? I think he is. And I'm just, man, I got to see more from Deshaun. That defense is elite. We know that. They might finish again top 3 in the league. Like, we know it's like that. But at some point, man, you got to put some points up on the board, bro. Like, at some point, you need more play from the quarterback position. And I think as great as these defenses are, I think this division going to come down to the quarterback position. So that's why I kind of have my lineup the way it is. Best to worst, in my opinion. Best to worst, So, but for the most part, we agree. We agree for the most part.
That's good.
NFC North. Joe, how you feeling about the NFC North, man? We got the Bears. We got the Lions. We got the Pack. We got the Vikings. Interesting division, man. It's another division, man, I think a lot of people have slept on. But recently, it's come up. It's come up, man. So how you feeling about the NFC North, man? What you got top to bottom or bottom to top?
Yeah, NFC North, another tough one. But let's get it started, man. Number 4. Sorry, man. Sam Darnold, I don't believe in you. Minnesota Vikings are number 4. They're number 4. Now, I didn't believe too much in JJ, but he was playing good in the preseason. But it's a preseason. He's a rookie quarterback. He's going to struggle. But he's not there no more. He's hurt for the year. So we got Sam Darnold. I do not believe in him. I'm sorry. I do not believe in it. I know they went and got Aaron Jones. They re-signed. They extended Justin Jefferson. He's excited. But I'm sorry. Y'all are number 4. Number 3, Caleb and the Bears. They're number 3. Now, I know a lot of people are high on them. I get it. You're high on them. They got They got receivers, right? They already got good defense. You know, the one question mark that nobody's really talking about with this team is the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about this head coach, AJ. I'm not saying he's bad, not saying he's good. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to get from this head coach, but a rookie quarterback in a division where they had two playoff teams last year, you know. So I'm going to have Caleb Williams and the Bears at number 3. Now this was tough right here.
Mm.
All right, number 2, ah, the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I got the Green Bay Packers at number 2. Jordan Love, you my guy. I was high on you last year. I had y'all win the division last year, but you got to that slow start. Turned up towards the end of the season, but I get it. Now, the Lions and the Packers, I got literally the Lions edging them out by 1 game. All right, I have the Packers finishing with a better division record, but the Lions finishing with 1 game better than the Packers. I think.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, we're gonna get to it, but I think I ain't gonna go deep into that. That's what I got. I got the Lions number 1, Packers
Okay.
2, Vikings 4th, and the Bears 3.
All right. I think this is where people gonna turn me off, Joe. I think this is where people are gonna turn me off. I agree for the most part. Well, I agree with the first team you mentioned. That's the Minnesota Vikings, and I know the Vikings fans that I know are listening are not happy with me saying that. I completely agree on Sam Darnold, bro. I can't be sold on Sam Darnold. I just can't. I gotta see it to believe it. I just do. I think Hockenson is gonna miss a chunk of the season. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with Addison just yet. I don't know if he's gonna be suspended or not. I don't know if that news has dropped or not. So you got that going on with the Vikings, and if they were fully healthy, I probably view them differently. But now losing a rookie quarterback, and you try out Sam Darnold, I can't get behind it. I have not seen enough from Sam Darnold to believe in him at all. So they coming in at 4. At number 3, I got the Green Bay Packers. I got the Green Bay Packers coming in at 3. I said this before. I may have said this in the Refuse to Lose chat. I think I said this to a couple of my guys. It's different when the league gets some film on you, bruh. It's different. That next year is tough. Now you have a great first year, and it's like, okay, this is the next big thing. And then the league catch up a little bit. Like, okay, we see he's weak here, he's weak there, and now you have to adjust to those weaknesses. I think he's going to be in for a sophomore slump this year. Now, it's not to say Jordan Love not going to be great. I still think ultimately he's going to be a great quarterback. I really do. I think ultimately he's going to be at the top of the top. I do. I think he has all of the talent to do so. I think people forget about the first half of the season and only talk about the back half of the season. Granted, you get hot, and sometimes that transfers into the next season. Sometimes that happens. But we can't completely dismiss the first half of the season where him, along with the team, just was not playing well. So I think going into this next season, teams will be able to exploit his weaknesses a little bit more. And I think they won't have as good of a season, or Jordan Love won't have as good of a season as people expect. He won't be terrible, but you'll see some regression this year, and the following year it'll pick up. 3rd. No, 2nd, my bad. 2nd.
Oh man, AJ, don't do this.
I got Detroit, bro.
Oh my God.
I got Detroit, bro. And this, for me, bro, you bring up coaching. Dan Campbell. They love him. They play for him. But I think he's going to sell games this year, bro. I think he's going to sell games this year. For the Lions, it's more like I've seen them be bad for so long, bro, that now that they're all of a sudden good, I'm not sure if I'm fully ready to accept it yet. It's almost like I got to see it at least one more year. Not saying the talent isn't there. Not saying, they haven't, made good draft picks, right? I think they have a really good team to be great. But it's one of those teams where it's like, I got to see y'all snatch the division again for me to believe y'all going to snatch it again. I have to see it twice, if that makes sense. I don't have a ton of logic. Behind that. Outside of Dan Campbell, I'm not the biggest fan. And I got to see it twice. But I got them coming in 2nd. And at number 1, bro, I love what I've seen from the Bears this offseason. I love the additions that they've made. I love the fact that they brought back Jalen Johnson. I love the fact that you still got TJ Edwards. I love the fact that you went and got Keenan Allen. You drafted a Doomsday. You got DJ Moore. You got Swift in the backfield. I think they got pieces to make Caleb Williams look great this season. I think he's going. It's weird to say a number one draft pick is going to sneak up on people, but I think in a way he's going to be a tough player to game plan for because you don't really know exactly what you're going to get from him. I think next year teams will be more prepared to deal with him. But this year, fresh out the gate, and I feel a similar way about the Commanders, and we'll get to them in a second later. But I think he's gonna be a tough player to game plan for, given the weapons he's got at his disposal. He got a bevy of weapons. Now, I agree. Their coach is not. I'm not high on him. But I think this division is going to be separated by 1-2 games top to bottom. I think it's going to be very close with the Vikings kind of sneaking up or not, kind of like holding down the bottom. I think it's going to be very close. But I think them division games, I think the Bears eke them out. I really do. I really do. I'm not sold on the Lions secondary at all still. The Packers defense can really be hit or miss, and I'm expecting a sophomore slump from Love. So, in the Vikings, I can't get behind right now because of Sam Darnold. So, that's how I'm feeling. Now, people saw me high on the Bears last season too. So I know some people like, bro, what's up with you and the Bears? It's just this season I like what they have built around Caleb Williams, and I think Caleb Williams is going to come out balling. I just do. From what I've seen, I think he's gonna come out balling. That's me. That's how I got it. I got Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
All I gotta say is, you so high on the Bears. You being in Minnesota.
I know,
make sure
bro.
You keep checking the blinds. You know what I mean? Watch your whereabouts. Keep your hair on the swivel. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be out for you.
I'm already knowing.
AJ, now I got some pushback.
Okay.
Now you said that you had to see it from the Lions again.
Yes.
All right. The Lions did what Green Bay did last year. A good second half of the season. And then what they do to follow up with the good second half of the season. Had another good season, win the division, get to the playoffs, beat the Rams, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and were up by 3 possessions on the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
This close to the Super Bowl. And they lost because of their third string receiver, dropping 2 third and fourth down passes. So the Lions had proven that they did it. What else Lions do? Ben Johnson could have been a head coach. What did Ben Johnson say? I'm coming back because we are going for a championship this year. One thing that Detroit have in their mind is not making the playoffs like the Bears. What's on their mind is going to the Super Bowl. I feel like everybody got too high on C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud comes in and had this beautiful season. How many wins he had last year, AJ? I think he had, 10 wins? He had 10 wins without not one significant win that whole year, but yet we think because Caleb going to have a similar CJ, he's going to win the whole NFC North. So I don't see that happening. Now, these are all predictions. I get it. Like you said, you don't have too much logic behind it. They did make a lot of good moves. I get you. Now, Detroit was already there, but I get what you're saying. But I just want to let you know that I think that's kind of a little crazy.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Like, hey, I expect that. I expect that. And like I said, I don't have a ton of logic behind it. I just remember watching the Lions down the stretch as they started to kind of crumble and fold at times, and just see games where they just was the game against the Bears, one of the last games of the season. I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah,
where they just like handed the Bears. Like it's moments where I'm just looking at them and it's like, yo, are you serious? The game that they handed to the Cowboys, it's like. I look at them and I'm not sold, bro. I'm not sold. I know what you said is very logical. They had a great season last year and a solid season the year before, bro. They was coming the year before, pause. They was right there. But at the end of the day, bro, I have not seen enough, and I'm very high on Caleb Williams. I haven't said this publicly. This is the first time I'm saying it. Very high on Caleb Williams this season, bro. Without people having much film on him, bro. Like I think he's going to have a really good season. And I think they're going to lose some. I think they're going to lose some divisional games that's going to cost them. I think they're going to split with the Bears. I do. I think they're going to split with Green Bay. I do. I wouldn't be shocked to see them lose to the Vikings. I wouldn't be shocked at all. They almost lost to the Vikings last season without Kirk Cousins. Like,
I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears lose to the Vikings. Of
course.
As a head coach, zero blitzing all day.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I don't think they're gonna go undefeated. I just think they're gonna be a tick better than the Lions. That's how I see it. Just a tick, bro. It's not like I got the Lions going. You know, Lions gonna be, or I'm sorry, Chicago gonna be 14-3, and then Detroit gonna fall off to 11-7. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying, just you know, if one team is say 12-5, the other team might be 11-6. That's how close I got it. That's how close
Okay.
I got it right now. That's how I see it.
Okay. So Bears number one.
Bears
All
number
right.
one.
Let's get it. All right. All right. So let's
And
go to
Joe, full disclosure, I hope I'm wrong, bro. Because I know if Caleb come out balling, I know they're gonna be ready to, you know, unless Hurts have a sensational season,
season.
they're gonna be ready to, oh, he better than Hurts. So
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it, bro. I think he gonna be a baller.
They're gonna give him the Jordan Love treatment, putting Jordan Love
Mm-hmm.
on everybody.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the back to the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Another tough division, the AFC South. All right, we got the AFC South. Now, Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. AJ, Texans won last year. Who you got?
I got the Texans again, man. I got the
Ooh.
Texans again. Now I was gonna say CJ was gonna have a sophomore slump too, because I think there's a solid amount of tape and film out there on him too. But now they didn't add it Diggs, and that throws a wrench in things because it's kind of hard to game plan for that. You can game plan off of a guy's strengths and weaknesses, but when you add another weapon, like it's now hard to game plan for that. I hate to keep bringing up the Eagles, but similar way I felt about Jalen when we first added AJ Brown, right? Like teams kind of had Jalen figured out a touch towards the end, even though he got hot. Jalen got better, but teams started to figure him out a bit. But when you added AJ, it added a completely different dynamic to the offense that you just wasn't ready to deal with. Okay. And so I think adding Stephon Diggs gives them that same type of punch. You know, I'm confident in their defense. I'm confident in head coach D'Amico Ryans. I like what they're building, and I do like CJ. Like I said, I think without Diggs, I was gonna say the same for him, but I do like CJ, and I do like CJ, and I do think that he'll end up winning this division. To be honest with you, bro, I don't have a ton of faith in anybody else in this division like that, bro. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who I have coming in second, they can be real hit or miss, bro. Sometimes they there, sometimes they not. Sometimes T-Law show up, sometimes he don't. Like I love, you know, Doug Peterson, but like he got questionable play calling at times. The defense is very questionable at times. I got the Colts coming in at 3. And I think I would have the Colts higher than Jacksonville, but I have to. The thing with the Colts is, bro, I gotta see Richardson healthy, bro. Like y'all gotta keep Richardson upright. I think he has talent, he has potential, but you gotta keep him upright. You gotta teach him how to slide. You gotta find a way to avoid him taking the amount of hits he's taking. And until I see that, I can't have them finishing in the top 2. Now they got my boy over there. Right, Steichen. They got Steichen over there, so I expect him to make the necessary adjustments. But Steichen got hurt too. So we got to be aware of that. You know, with the mobile quarterback, he loves the RPO. You know what I'm saying? He loves the QB sneaks and things of that nature. But you got to have a quarterback that's built to take that kind of punishment. And if you find out early on he not built to take that kind of punishment, you got to reel that back a bit. So until I see those adjustments, I got them coming in 3. And the Titans, bro, Will Levis. I think, and he showed me some things last year too. I'm not gonna lie, but nah, bro, I can't get behind the Titans. So I got the Texans, the Jags, the Colts, then the Titans.
Yeah, well, Levis had a decent preseason too, but once again, it's a preseason.
Right.
All right, man. Listen, I'm being honest with you. I'm not high on the Texans like everybody else are.
Okay.
I'm not. You know, I got Titans 4th, Titans 4th, Colts 3rd, Texans 2nd, and I got the Jaguars winning this division.
Wait, say that again? Say that lineup again?
Titans 4th, Colts 3rd, Texans 2nd, Jaguars 1st.
Interesting. Okay.
The only reason the Texans won the division is the same reason why the Cowboys won last year. The Jaguars folded at the end of the season. Trevor Lawrence got an injury. I'm not sure how serious it was, but since his injury, they just start losing games. And I look at the Cowboys, they won the division because the daggone Eagles let go of the division.
Man.
So the Texans, I honestly think, you see how I did, right? I use your team for my debate.
Yeah, of course.
So I think this Texans situation is going to be subtraction by addition in their record.
Really?
I think they're going to lose less. I think they're going to lose more games this year than they did last year. I honestly think that. So they got all the hype. They got all the attention. Last year they snuck up on teams. Last year they had no expectations. Last year nobody expected the Houston Texans to compete in this division. We all thought the Jaguars was going to win the division. Some people had the Jaguars winning 12, 13 games last year. But what happened? C.J. Stroud had a terrific rookie year. Will Anderson had a good rookie year. They both won rookie of the year. Both of them did. But this year, the spotlight is on this team. C.J. Stroud doing all these shows and stuff with Michael Parsons, putting the spotlight on him. Stephon Diggs, get at it. They re-sign they receivers. You know what I mean, right? So everybody got C.J. Stroud as some people say he's an elite already. So Texas do got a good coach, but don't sleep on your boy Dougie P, bro. Don't sleep on your boy Dougie P. So I think the Texans, I do think the Texans and the Jaguars will win the same amount of games, but I think the Jaguars will win that tiebreaker and get into the playoffs. I think Trevor Lawrence is good. I'm not saying he's an elite quarterback, but what we saw last year down the stretch for Trevor Lawrence and that team is not what that team really is, in my opinion, right? And they went and got Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis would be better for them than your boy Calvin Ridley was last year. Calvin Ridley we expected Calvin Ridley to do a lot last year, and he underachieved last year. So I got the Jaguars winning this division.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough from the Jags, bro. I like Gabe too. I think Gabe is a good piece, bro. It's a difference between playing with Josh Allen and playing with T. Law now too, though. I'm looking at them. They too hit or miss, bro. And my thing too, bro, is I came out initially when Trevor Lawrence was drafted, and I said he gonna be a bust. That was the first thing I said about him. I said he gonna be a bust. I could see it already. But he came out, and I'm like, by my standards for a bust, he playing well. Like, okay, I retract that. But then when I go back and still watch, I'm like, yo, he's not what people thought he would be, bro. And I haven't really seen much improvement in his game, bro. I haven't seen it. When in the case of C.J. Stroud, man, I don't think we can undersell the addition of Stephon Diggs to that offense, bro. I just can't. And this the thing. In the case of, Philly and Dallas, when Philly fell off and Dallas won, Dallas ain't really, we gonna talk about it, but Dallas ain't do too much this offseason, right? To improve their roster, right? The Texans just added one of the best receivers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And are now confident. Won a playoff game and are now confident now. They got that confidence behind them. Right? So that's why I'm looking at them like, I think they're going to be tough to beat, especially for a team like Jacksonville for the division. I think they're going to be very tough to beat, bro. And I think Diggs is going to help bring the best, out of CJ. So that's how I see it boiling down ultimately. I cannot get behind Jacksonville, bro. I can't. I got more confidence in CJ with Diggs. Now we saw what Diggs did for Josh Allen. We saw CJ looking like that boy without Diggs. And I don't buy into the whole narrative. A lot of people be trying to push this narrative like Stephon Diggs, some type of locker room cancer and, his attitude. No, I don't really buy into that, bro. I'm not really buying into that. I think the man just don't like losing, in my opinion. Yeah. Now with CJ in this offense with the weapons that they already have and DeMeco Ryans, bro, I think one of the best young coaches in the game. And I like Doug, bro.
Super Bowl champion.
Gave us our only Super Bowl. Bro. I ain't seen that Doug since that Super Bowl, bro.
Truthfully. Also years ago. Think about what they were the year before that.
You said what?
Think about what they were the year before that.
That's true, bro. But like, at one point, is that enough though? Is that enough for him to be like, okay, he's the best now in the division? Is that enough to say that? I know DeMeco ain't shown you a ton yet. I will say that.
Yeah, he hasn't. Really.
But that's enough though. I mean, we get on Mike Tomlin because he make the playoffs every year and don't do nothing afterwards. But Doug get the pass right now.
Well, Doug had
with a team that should have with a team that should have won the division last year.
Yeah.
Like you said, they melted.
Yeah. They did. They definitely melted. Now Trevor Lawrence, they get an injury, and I look at the Texans last year. I mean, I can't think of now one game when I'm like, dang, they like that. Yeah, Yeah, they
Oh,
ain't
the
beat no
good team
good
they beat.
team.
Got you. Okay,
They
okay.
they played in a poor division last year. You know, and the Colts quarterback was hurt. Titans was a daggone disaster last year. And they lost to all the good competition. They got blown out by the Ravens. See, they look terrible against the Jets. So like they beat the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs. Dougie P and them beat the Chargers in the playoffs. I mean, Cleveland and the Chargers. I mean, you just pick one. Which one? I mean, tomato, tomato. One got offense, one got defense. Like, so my whole thing is the Ryan has improved a lot either. Now I'm not saying he's not a great coach, but yes, if we want, I think we're going to pick the Texans because they got Joe Mixon. I get it. They got
Mm-hmm.
Stephon Diggs. I
I
get
forgot to
it.
mention Mixon.
Yeah, they got Mixon. You know what I mean? They made some moves. I give them
Mm-hmm.
props. You know what I mean? They got a good weaponry. They had one of the receivers got hurt last year. He's back now. So they got weapons. My only issue is now the spotlight is on the Texans. Just like you said with Jordan Love. Oh, they got tape on Jordan Love. They got tape. It's different. Well, we can say the same thing for CJ Stroud. And that's just tape. Expectations. Now, Jordan Love last year, expectations is not high as this year, but some people really thought they were going to be a playoff team last year, the Packers. Nobody thought about that with the Texans.
Facts.
And so that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I think CJ's about to have not him. I think this team going to take a back seat this year, and it might come back strong the year after that.
Fair. Tape is different, Joe. When you add a weapon like Stephon Diggs, bro, it's not the same tape no more, bro.
You're right.
I'm telling you, bro, it's not the same tape, especially for a young guy, like CJ, who gonna make sure Diggs is getting the ball. So,
I like
but we'll
the
see.
coordinator too.
Right.
So let me write this down. Bears for AJ, Texans.
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool.
Well, we at the NFC South? We at the NFC South,
Yeah.
right? So we got the
Uh-oh.
NFC South.
This is another
This
one.
my boy Ant in the comments too. This his division. His Bucks,
he
beat
a
us.
Bucks fan.
So he a Bucks fan. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So we got the NFC South, man. We got the Falcons. We got the Bucks. We got the Saints. And we got the Panthers. Joe, when you look at the NFC South, top to bottom or bottom to top, how you feeling about the NFC South?
All right. So look, this is how I feel about NFC South. 4 Panthers. Let's get them out the way. I'm sorry. Panthers look bad right now, and Caleb was their pick. But they got Bryce Young. 4th is Panthers, new head coach. Still not a great team right now. Number 3, the Saints. I got the Saints 3. I got Derek Carr getting benched towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
I got Derek Carr having a bad year. I do. Number 2, sorry, Ant. I got the Buccaneers number 2. Sorry, my boy. Shout out to my boy Trent too. Buccaneers number 2 and number 1 the Falcons. I mean, let's think about this. All right, the Falcons. The Falcons almost won last year. Let's start there. They almost won last year. The last 2 years they almost won.
Mm-hmm.
And they had horrific quarterback play. We talking about the Steelers. Their quarterback play was bad too. Now on top of that, they got one of the best offensive lines in the league. They got Bijan Robinson, who I think Bijan will lead the NFL. My bold prediction is he will lead the NFL in total touchdowns. Bijan Robinson. All right? Really good running back. They got a potential number 1 receiver with Drake London. Just haven't had that quarterback, Kyle Pitts. The defense on the other side of the ball, they just got Matt Judon. They just signed Justin Simmons from the Broncos. They already got my boy AJ Terrell on the cornerback side. So they got a solid team. Raheem Moore is a defensive-minded coach. They're going to get that defense going to be better. I think after they drafted Michael Penix, their next 4 picks are on the defensive side of the ball. So, and then you add Kirk Cousins on top of that. I know he first off an Achilles injury, but he's not a mobile quarterback. So I don't think that's going to really affect them that much. So we see what Kirk Cousins does with these tight ends. I mean, y'all see T.J. Hawkinson, right? That's what happens to him when he joined up with Kirk Cousins. Y'all see Jettas with Kirk Cousins. Y'all see the Commanders when he was with Sean McVay, right? Pierre Garçon and stuff like that. Pierre Garçon led the league in receiving. So I think he led the league in receiving or led the league in receptions. One of the 2. So I got the Falcons being a clear-cut number 1, at least clearing everybody else by at least 2 games. I got the Falcons.
I got the Panthers coming in. No, I was about to joke and say the Panthers coming in first. So I couldn't even get the joke out, bro. I couldn't even get the joke out.
Dang, I know you on
Bro,
Caleb, but dang.
man, nah. Even though I do think the Panthers will be marginally better this year, because you can't be much worse. But I got them coming in fourth. I got the Saints, I got the Bucks, and I also have the Falcons going at number one. My bad, and I'm sorry, bro. The Falcons offseason been too special, bro. It's been too special, bro. To have, Bates and them winning to Justin Simmons.
Ooh, Bates too.
Oh my goodness, dog. They got the two of the best safeties in the league on one
Right.
team now, bro. At free safety and strong safety. You already brought up AJ Terrell, Judon now.
Whew.
It's tough. The defense gonna be tough. And then you look at the offense again. You got Bijan back there in the backfield. You got Kirk Cousins now. I think Drake can have a solid season now with
Yeah.
Kirk throwing the football. Kyle Pitts is still there. Like, I'm interested in seeing the Falcons now with a quarterback that can get the job done. Now, what I will say though, Kirk Cousins, he was a guy that was never injury prone at all. After tearing the Achilles, it's like, all right, let's see if he can stay upright. Let's see if he can stay healthy. He is an older quarterback now. I do wonder if them drafting Penix is in the back of his head too, because from everything I heard, he wasn't happy about them drafting Penix, bro. Wasn't happy about it at all, bro. Now we know Penix is the future, and I'm also very high on Penix. Was high on him before the draft, and maybe even higher on him now with the team he got drafted to. So we'll see what happens with that later on down the line. But I'm looking at them, man. This has been a division that has been honestly one of the worst divisions to watch over the last few years, bro. It's just been like, all right, whoever coming out the NFC South, man, they gonna have 7, 8, 9 wins, and we just gonna have to roll with that. They're gonna have home field for the first game, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. But now I'm looking at the Falcons like, they didn't build this roster up to where it looked like they can run away with it. Kirk gonna have to show up though, and it's gonna have to be more than regular. You know what I'm saying? More than games that's not on TV. You're gonna have to show up for a primetime game or two here and there as well. And I'm not completely asleep on the Bucks. Let's be clear. And I was talking in the chat earlier about Baker Mayfield. Everybody want to throw the shots when it come to Baker and crack jokes. Baker was very good last season.
He was.
Very solid season. Threw 28 touchdowns and threw for 4K yards. So I'm not completely asleep on the Bucks. I'm not completely asleep on that defense. But I just think the Falcons have done too. They set the Falcons trying to set themselves up like they really believe they in the Super Bowl window. Truthfully, like they looking like they like, yo, let's get this piece, that piece, this piece, that. They getting veteran solid pieces. They ain't really getting a bunch of young guys. They getting a bunch of veteran solid pieces that say, yo, we believe we can win the Super Bowl. Forget just winning this division. And I don't know if any other team in the division has those type of aspirations. At least they haven't shown me they do. So that's how I got it. I also have the Falcons, Bucks, Saints, and Panthers.
I think an underrated move they picked up was Darnell Mooney. I know he's not he ain't no, but he was playing with Justin Fields this whole time. I think that playing with Kirk Cousins, he would have a better year. But yeah, man, the Falcons. I mean, and then Baker Mayfield. One thing about Baker Mayfield that I am like, I wonder is he lost his offensive coordinator who he thrived under. He just went to the Panthers, so as a head coach. So I got to see how that's going to be with Baker Mayfield. They did re-sign Mike Evans, so that was a good. They had a great drive, in my opinion. So, but we'll see. But I got them second. But the Falcons should win this division. They should.
They set up. They got the team for it, bro, and that's undeniable. They built it to where they should run away with it. To be real, it's built for them to run away with.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, they got the best QB, right? I mean,
yeah,
we got the best QB, and
they do.
Arguably the best defense too. I mean. Like they got the best. They got the. I mean, people might say the Saints, but on paper, the Falcons are.
On paper, the Falcons got them beat. On paper, the Falcons got them beat for sure. We got to see how they line up. You got to put the pads on, but on paper, they look like they got the best defense in the division for sure. For sure.
All right, so let's go to the AFC West, man.
Okay.
AFC West. This is an interesting division, in my opinion. Antonio Pierce. 4-time head coach, Jim Harbaugh, 4-time head coach with the Chargers, so like a lot's changed. Sean Payton got rid of Russ, got Bo Nix out there now. And we all know about Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. So AJ, give me your order. We all know Chiefs number 1. Give me 2 through 4.
Real talk though. Real talk. Like it goes without being said at this point. We know Chiefs is number 1. Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes, bro. Somebody gotta knock him off at the end of the day. And I respect too. A lot of people don't talk enough about Pat durability too. Like Pat be healthy almost every year, bro. Like the man don't got no type of injury concerns. He take a decent amount of punishment, but bounce right back up. You know that the Pats
I mean,
are
he did win a Super Bowl with a high ankle sprain. But go ahead.
well, I mean, nice little gut punch there. Nice little gut punch.
Yeah,
I feel
man.
you. I feel you. It's all good. It's all good. At least we was there. But anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. The Chiefs though. The Chiefs are going to finish number one. Obviously. I thought this one of the moments, Joe, where I thought about capping and you know what I mean. I thought about it because y'all know how I feel about Herbert. Y'all know how I feel about Herbert, bro.
Uh-oh.
But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Got a new coach in town. I think they'll finish second. That don't mean they're gonna make the playoffs. To be clear. But I think they'll finish second in the division. You know, I think they'll be good enough to be second place. Then I got, the Broncos finishing third. Not gonna lie. Like how Bo Nick's been looking in preseason. Granted, it's preseason. Bo Nick's been balling though. Like, I've been kind of like, yo, I ain't said nothing. Cause me and Bibby got this trolling going back and forth, you know what I mean? But I was sure looking like, dog, if Bo Nix end up cold, a lot of us gonna be salty. Cause he looked like he got the skill set to be pretty solid. He looked like that Sean Payton's guy. That's what it's looking like. And so ultimately we'll see. I think they'll be good enough to finish third. The Raiders, man, they're a dumpster fire to me, bro. Like,
Woo, for real?
to me, bro, they are, bro. Like losing Josh Jacobs now too, bro. Him going to Green Bay. You got Devontae Adams there. Not even sure who y'all got throwing the ball to Devontae Adams. And nothing made me more confident in this than watching, the receiver documentary, bro. Where, like, he just upset. He like, I'm getting killed out here, bro. Like, I never been hit this much in my career. Like, this is insanity. Like, we got to figure something out. Like, I can't deal with this. Like, I like the head coach. I really do. I think he's a solid young head coach. I think he's good for the future. But as of right now, bro, I don't see anything legit outside of Crosby on the defensive line and, Devontae Adams on offense that says they're going to win more than, I don't know, 6-7 games.
Oh, dang.
So I got the Raiders at the very bottom of the division. And I think it's pretty clear to me. I think it's pretty clear they at the bottom of the division.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is my NFC North. This is my NFC North right here. Nah, Chiefs number one. Number 4, Broncos. Get them out of here. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
Number 3, the Chargers.
Oh my gosh, no way.
And number 2, the Raiders.
Oh.
I'm calling it right now. The Raiders will have the number 1 defense in the NFL this year. Number 1 defense. People don't know this. When Antonio Pierce took over, from the time he took over to the end of the season, they had the number 1 defense in the NFL. They also added Christian Wilkins on the D-line. All right, on the D-line. So that's another big boy right next to Max Crosby, right? Then I think this is going to be an underrated move right here. Don't laugh. Bringing in Gardner Minshew. Like, hear me out. Last year, who was their quarterback? Jimmy G. Trash. Who was the quarterback after that? Stidham, I think. Was it Stidham? I think. I don't know.
Trash. Trash. That's all we know.
Trash.
Trash. Yeah.
The Colts should have been to the playoffs, not the Texans. Running back dropped a wide open pass in the flats, and the Texans made it to the playoffs. People forgot about that. The Colts went toe-to-toe with the Texans, and Gardner Minshew was the starting quarterback. Michael Pittman had his best year receiving last year with Gardner Minshew. So one thing I know about Gardner Minshew, he gonna throw that rock. So Devontae Adams, no. I got the 9-8. I might got them a little higher than that. I don't know.
Oh, the Raiders, bro.
The Raiders, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I am high on the Raiders.
I respect it.
Like Gardner Minshew, no, I'm not saying he's gonna be all world, but Devontae Adams about to get his bread. He about to get money. He about to get targets. They got Jacoby Myers still. Jacoby Myers was having a good year good game until he got hurt. All right, so and they signed Brock Bowers on tight end. What the best tight end in the draft? Another weapon for them on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm really high on the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be that team that I'm not gonna say they're gonna sneak up on people, but they have no expectations, but they're gonna win some ball games. They're gonna beat some good teams this year, and I got them being second behind it. And the Chiefs, man, I got Mahomes going crazy this year, by the way. So I got the Chiefs being first.
My bad for the ping, y'all. Family chat blowing up. Don't know why, but I just silenced it. Hopefully it don't go off no more. I tried to silence all my messages before we start, and somehow, some way, a new message pop up. It's like, bro, what's going on? Like, but bro. The Raiders. I listen, bro. People can get on me about the Bears, but the Raiders. I cannot do it at all, bro. Like, hey, Gardner Minshew, decent. Good enough to win you over 9 games? Negative. I cannot see it.
Yeah.
And I understand, bro. Wilkins a good pickup. They still got Crosby, bro. But what the secondary looking like for them to be the number one over the course of the season? I think a lot of Pierce coming in right at the end of the year. They needed some type of juice, some type of motivation. They was playing unmotivated football. When you bring in a new guy like that, who's a big personality, a guy who used to play on the defensive side of the ball, a guy who could really, get along well with the team and things of that nature, like get along well with the players, can really connect with them. Then yeah, you come out, you playing with a little, you playing with a little extra sauce. I feel like you playing, okay, we got somebody to play for. We can win some games now, bro. But one thing about them, bro, that they did last season when he got in, they ran the football nonstop. We're going to get a ball to Jacobs, take us there. We're going to get a ball to Jacobs, take us there. Then we're going to play action, we're going to give it to Devontae. Jacobs not there no more, which means Gardner Minshew going to have to play very well. And the thing that helped that number one defense, as we all know, is a solid run game. You can keep them off the field for a little bit, let them get a little extra energy. So now without Jacobs out there, you putting that defense out there a little earlier than expected, more times than not with Gardner Minshew, who gonna turn that ball over too. Because remember, he was playing with Steichen. Steichen a great coach. We seen it. I'm not sold on the Ravens as an offensive team. I'm not, to be honest, not sure who their offensive coordinator is. But they ain't Steichen. I can tell you that right now. So that's how I'm looking at it. I think the loss of Jacobs hurts them a ton. Gardner Minshew is a step up from the quarterbacks that they had. I'm not going to deny that. He is a step up. And he is going to win them some games, bro. But coming in second in this division, I don't see enough from that offense to potentially keep that defense off the field. And I think you overrating the defense a little bit. I think they got some pieces, bro. But if you could find a way to hold up for a little bit, that secondary to be had. It's to be had. So I don't see them making much noise whatsoever. I can't see it. But I could be wrong. That, like you said, that's his NFC NFC North, where I had the Bears, hey, could be wrong. The Raiders could be that surprise team. It would shock everybody but Joe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will be stunned, bro. I will be stunned.
Antonio Perez, when he took over, I think I'm looking right now, in the last like 6-7 games, Josh Jacobs ran the ball 20 times, half the game. So they didn't really fully load. Let's give it to Jacobs. Jacobs only went over 100 yards twice.
That don't mean they weren't feeding them though.
The whole year, and also, right? I had another point. Chargers. Who would it? You forgetting? They just gave up everybody on offense.
They did.
Mike Williams gave up Keenan Allen. Who are they running back?
Hold on. We got no faith in Herbert to prevail and get them to the second spot in the division. In a division that's not loaded. It's not loaded. Besides the Chiefs, we ain't got faith. I thought I was the guy that wasn't high on Herbert. He can't get you second. Remember we was talking about Harbaugh this all season. They got Harbaugh.
Go ahead.
That good enough to get you second in the division? I'm just asking. It's just a question.
Who you gonna throw the ball to?
Himself. I don't know. That's for him to figure out.
Like, right now, Harbaugh is taking over a team. Now, granted, they kept their key pieces on defense.
Right.
They did. They kept Dre Bosa. They kept Khalil Mack. Good job, right? But he took over this team when it was in a recession. There was a salary cap hell for real. They really couldn't make significant moves this year. So I think this first year is going to be a grinded out year. And then next year is when the Chargers are going to take that lead. Now, Obviously, it's all predictions. Anything can happen. But I'm high on the Raiders. I think a lot of people sleep on the Raiders, man. We'll see, though.
We'll
So,
see.
look,
We'll see.
Bears for AJ, Texans for AJ, Raiders for Joe, Raiders for Joe, and Jags for Joe.
Yeah.
That's what
We
we
shall
gonna
see.
do.
We shall see.
That's what we gonna do.
NFC West. That's where we at, right? NFC West. We got
Yes, sir. Shout out to my
the
boy Dave.
Oh, yep. Shout out to Dave. You know, we got the Niners. You know what I'm saying? We got the Niners there who just went to the Super Bowl. We got the Rams. We got Seattle. And we got the Cards who snuck up on a couple of NFC East teams last year, unfortunately. So, Joe, how are you ultimately feeling about the NFC West?
The NFC West. I'm curious what you gotta say. But number 4, Seahawks, man. Gino, you're done, son. Shout out to my boy Tomo. Gino, it's your last year, bro. I'm sorry. You had a good run. You know what I mean? You made Pro Bowl. I think you made Pro Bowl. Got your contract. Good job. Good job. But time is over. Number 3, I got this team being like middle of the pack this year. Cardinals.
Okay.
Cardinals. You know, they're not going to be as bad as they were last year. They're going to be competitive in a lot of games, in my opinion. The Cardinals had one of the most injuries last year on the defensive side of the ball. And then Kyler Murray, if he can stay healthy, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. is a plus. No, the best for last, Kevin.
Best for last. Yep.
So Cardinals, I got the Cardinals finish at 3rd. I got the Rams at 2nd. The Rams at 2nd. And the only way I see the 49ers not finishing 1st, if a significant injury happens. Now, they had a bunch of injuries so far. But if the 49ers are healthy, I got them sweeping the division, 6-0.
That's fair. That's fair. So for me, I like what they did in the draft, the Cardinals, but I still got them coming in for now. In this division, I just think it's very tough. I'm not super high on Seattle, but I'm a little higher on Seattle currently than I am the Cardinals. Just gotta see a little bit more. I've never been high on Jonathan Gannon. Not never. That ain't gonna change now, especially now that he's a head coach. So that's another reason why I have them coming in 4th. I got Seattle coming in 3rd. Now, where it gets interesting is right here for me. I'm going to be real. Take trolling out. I got the Rams 2. I got the Niners 1st. But I'm going to say this. When it comes to the Niners, bro, the Niners been that team in the NFC that go to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game numerous years, it seemed like. They always the dogs in the NFC. They always that team that everybody know they got to get through. The Packers, we know we got to go through the Niners. The Eagles, we know we got to see the Niners. Dallas, we know we got, like, that's the team. Everybody like, we know we got to see them. But at some point, bro, them losses catch up with you. At some point, getting that high and losing catch up with you. So I got the Niners that high with a lot of caution this year. And I was this close to being like, give me the Rams. Just because I think the emotional toll that it takes on the team to go to 2 Super Bowls and lose to the same player, the same team, is a lot to recover from. Do you got this situation going on with BA? And granted, I think he gonna resign, but he still ain't resigned yet. CD Lamb just signed. What kind of money you looking for? Dave could probably fill us in a little bit more, but Joe, like, hey, he might end up with the Commanders. You know what I mean? Like, he might end up with the Steelers, you know, so that's still kind of up in the air. And I don't like contract negotiations going this deep into, you know, past the preseason into the regular season. I didn't agree with the Cowboys waiting as long as they did to re-sign CD Lamb, but at least they did it a few weeks before the season start. They still trying to get the contract situation situated with BA right now. I don't like that. I think the whole situation been weird, bro. It's been a little weird to me, bro. Like, I don't know. It's been a little fishy to me. So everybody here know I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not saying this stuff to hate on the Niners. I still got the Niners finishing 1st. But it's one of those things, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they fell off a bit this year, because how many times can you be at the top, Joe, in the NFL? Not for long. Not for long, bro. So I'm going to get the Niners the nod for now. But Don't be shocked that they end up second behind the Rams. Do not be shocked. This is my stance. There's only so many times you could end up at the top, and you could take those type of traumatic L's, bro. We seen everybody make fun of Philly. Everybody makes fun of Philly. Teams that make it to the Super Bowl and lose are not normally the same the following year. Unless you're the Patriots with Tom Brady or Pat Mahomes. But most teams that go to the Super Bowl and lose, they not the same the following year. Especially if it's the second time it's happened within the last, 6-7 years? Don't be shocked. I'm giving them a nod because I respect them, because the respect is there. But I'm watching them, bro, carefully.
Second time in 4 years.
Second time in 4 years. I couldn't think of the years, but yeah, it was recent, very recent.
But to push back on the winning fatigue, the quarterback just lost his first Super Bowl. The arguably best player running back just got a taste of his first Super Bowl also. So it's not like it's the same guys, like it's Jimmy G still, it's Raheem Mostert. You know what I mean? We talking about fresh blood that got a taste of the Super Bowl loss and who are hungry to come back to this dance right here. So that's why I'll push back at. Now,
how many times is that the case though, Joe?
No, we're not talking about Super Bowl. We're talking about winning the division. Now,
that's fair.
Division,
that's fair.
You know what I mean? They can do that. I mean, I don't see them doing the collapse like Philly did. No, I'm not trying to take a diss at you, but they defense is legit. Fungo was hurt last year. He's gonna be back this year. They still got a legit defense. So now Greenlaw is out. That's gonna be big, but they still got the best linebacker in football, Fred Warner. All right. They still got Nick Bosa, who's looking to have a bounce back here. So they got pieces still. So, but the Brandon Ayuk situation is tricky. So I can't ignore that situation. If they don't have Brandon Ayuk going into this year,
second.
That's sorry.
If they my bad for cutting you off. If they end up trading Ayuk, they coming in second or third in the division.
Oh,
will be my take.
Because it's gonna be detrimental to Brock Purdy. That's Brock Purdy guy. You know what I mean? When things go crazy, what I look for? Brandon Ayuk. That's what he does. So I mean, I look back at that Cleveland game that he was terrible in. But then down the stretch, he was looking for Brandon Ayuk. So if Brandon Ayuk is not there this year, and I know they said Commanders out of the picture, don't sleep. Don't be like Pat Riley and sleep. But if they out of the picture, if he don't come back this year, that's going to be detrimental to Brock Purdy. But as of right now, he's on the roster. So I got them first.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm thinking as far as, I think this division is tough, bro. It's tougher than, they've dominated it, though. We're not going to act like they haven't. They've dominated their division, but the Rams ain't no slouch. I don't think Seattle, when they're healthy, is no slouch. The Cardinals, again, they got to show me something. But every now and then, the Cardinals be putting up points on the Niners. Now, the Niners still win. But, if I'm not mistaken, they had a game where they had 29 and the Niners had 45. Now, you still won that game by 16 points. But I just think that now you are legit, again, the hunted in the NFC, maybe the hunted in the NFL besides the Chiefs. And I'm telling you, it's hard to keep up with what they've done over the last 4 or 5 years has been sensational, bro. Getting to, making the playoffs every year, winning dominating, not only winning, dominating their division every single year, bro. And going to 2 Super Bowls, bro. Like, I would feel differently if they won one of them. Mm-hmm. But to lose both of them and to lose it to the same guy, that stings. Now again, you brought up CMC wasn't there before. If I'm not, and Brock Purdy wasn't there before, but if I'm not mistaken, Brandon or BA was there before, right? For that first one, I could be wrong. I think BA was there.
I don't think BA was.
I think he was a rookie.
Probably.
I could be wrong. Dave, correct me if I'm wrong.
Debo was a rookie.
Debo. Yeah, I know for a fact Debo was there. Kittle was there. You know what I mean? So like the staples besides the quarterback and the running back, who are also staples. But like when I think of the Niners, I think of Trent, who was there as well. I think of Trent. I think of Debo. I think of BA. I think of CMC too. CMC is in there too, and I think of Brock. But when I think of like the staples of the team, those are staples of the team, and I don't know. I gotta see how they looking, especially to start the season, bro. But I'm still picking them to win because I respect them. It's the Niners. And I think when they need to, they'll turn it up. They don't see Philly. But when they see Dallas, I believe they see Dallas on the schedule. When they see certain teams, they're gonna turn it up for those teams. I believe that. But
Yeah, of course.
but because it's the Niners, but they not gonna get embarrassed out there. But
Unless you were playing the Ravens. And
facts.
BA was in college getting catches from Jane
Okay.
Daniels. I forgot about that.
Got
My
you.
bad.
Okay.
Shout out to Jane
I
Daniels.
stand corrected there.
All right. Look, we wrapping this up, man. We down to the last two divisions, man. This
Yeah.
right here is tough, man. This is a tough division. The AFC East. Woo! AFC East. This right here was tough, bro. Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets. Come on, AJ. Give me the order.
Give me the Jets to come in first in this division. I stand by it. I guarantee it. It's a brand name.
Ooh.
It's a brand name. Aaron Rodgers, a brand name. And that's the brand name I'm going to rock with this season. All right. I'm going with A-Rod and the Jets. Now, the one concern about the Jets I have, two concerns about the Jets that I have, and it's really only two. Actually, you could throw three in there. One is the head coach. Not completely sold on him. Not completely sold on him. But I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference when you got Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Two is that dang field, bro. That field, bro. That field that they got to figure out that turf, Joe. They got to figure out that turf and figure out what they're doing with that, bro. Because that's going that hopefully don't create more injuries, but we know about that turf. The last thing I'm worried about, which I should have said first, because it's the most important thing, that offensive line, bro. I am concerned about that offensive line, and you're gonna need that offensive line to protect Aaron Rodgers. But, bro, I think the Jets gonna be cold this year. I said it last year, but Aaron Rodgers ended up getting hurt, and it sold the whole whatever. But this year, bro, what they got in the backfield, what they got at quarterback, the Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson connection is going to be eerily similar to Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Woo.
Very similar. It's going to be very similar to that same connection. I think Garrett is a young talent that's just waiting on the quarterback to get him the ball. He's just waiting on him, bro. So I think that connection going to be special. And I think that defense, finally, which has been, in my opinion, elite for a while now, finally has an offense that's going to keep them off the field a little bit, keep them fresh, bro. And finally has a quarterback that they can get behind. What people don't understand sometimes about defense, bro, is a defense tends to play better when the offense is playing exceptionally well. When they have somebody to play behind, if we could just get this one stop and get it back to our defense or get it back to our offense, we believe in that guy to take us there. We just got to, come on, y'all. It's 3rd and 3. It's 4th and 1. We just got to get this one stop. I know he going to win us the game. Opposed to, you got Zach Wilson back there. You still gonna, come on, y'all, let's get this one stop. But it's a few people in that huddle like, man, even if we do, he gonna throw a pick and we gonna lose this, you know what I'm saying? We gonna lose. It's different with Aaron Rodgers, bro. Now, I don't agree with all his off the field stuff and all, some of his antics, and like, he kind of weird in a way, but can't nobody deny the talent. He got to come back healthy. We got to see how he is after the Achilles injury, and they got to protect him. But I believe he gonna be smart. He gonna get that ball out quick, and I think they take this division. At 2, I got the Dolphins. Don't know what's going on with OBJ. But that situation has been kind of weird for me. But they still got them 2 dogs on the outside. They still got a solid running game. I believe in Tua. He just got paid too. I think he's gonna play with a little bit more confidence. You know what I'm saying? I believe in some of the pieces that they have on defense, right? So I got them coming in second. Don't believe in the Bills. Before Stephon Diggs got there, Josh Allen was not great. He was okay. He wasn't great. Stephon Diggs got there. His game jumped to heights that I'm not sure if any of us really expected. Now you lose Gabe and you lose Stephon Diggs on top of multiple pieces on the defensive side of the ball. Josh gonna have to show me, and this ain't no, I know they got the little FJA thing, and you know what I'm saying? This ain't none of that. This is just me giving my honest opinion about Josh Allen. He gonna have to show me in a division with the Jets, who are gonna be better, with the Dolphins that are gonna be better, that he gonna come out and win this division again. I gotta see it. Gotta see it to believe it. And then I got the Pats coming in 4th. So, and I like Drake May. Not gonna lie, I like Drake May. I think Drake May is gonna be a decent young quarterback, but he's young, and they got a lot of ways to go. So I got the Jets. And by the way, I know this is a sneak peek for next episode.
Okay.
Don't be shocked if the Jets come out the AFC.
Uh-oh.
Don't be shocked. If Rodgers is upright with that defense and that receiver core with those running backs, I'm high on the Jets. 13 wins type high on the Jets.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about the AFC East.
Okay. Now the Jets, you're right. They got a Aaron Rodgers. They did sign Tyron Smith from the Cowboys, but he also injury prone.
Yeah, right.
And I think they signed Morgan Moses from Baltimore. So,
Mm-hmm.
but, ooh, he's high on the Jets.
High.
Bills. All right, my prediction: AFC East. Number 4, Patriots. Sorry, Teddy. Drake May is your future though. Shout out to Drake May. Number 3, the Dolphins. AJ, why should I believe the Dolphins gonna beat the Browns, the 49ers, the Texans, the Packers, the Rams? Who else? Because they can't beat good teams either. They can't. And they play most of these teams down the stretch when it's cold outside. They play Green Bay in Green Bay, right? And then they play Cleveland and Cleveland. It's down the stretch. Play New York last game of the season in New York. So I think that I'm not saying they're going to be terrible, but they're going to be third. And number 2, I'm kind of high on the Jets too, but they number 2, and the Bills winning the division for the 5th or 6th time in a row. Listen, I'm letting you know right now. I'm not even a huge Josh Allen fan, but I got a feeling that Josh Allen about to have his best case for MVP. He about to have an MVP type season.
He would.
Stephon Diggs not there. Oh, he don't have Stephon Diggs. All the defense rolled out on him. You know, he don't have a good defense. His number 1 receiver probably is a rookie receiver, Keon Coleman. And then guess what? And then don't forget, when the offensive coordinator took over the play calling, they won every game after that, AJ. Last time I checked. Ran the ball more with James Cook. So I got the Bills finishing first. Josh Allen, MVP year.
Listen, I respect it. I know a lot of people are high on Josh Allen. For me, bro, you gotta have a solid team around you, unless you Pat almost. Like Pat is like, to me in the league, that one exception to where I'm overcoming everything. I just overcome whatever. It don't matter. Tyreek Hill, whatever. Defense is young and still improving. I'll still win the Super Bowl. Our defense is good this year, but our offense is just awful. I mean, it's stagnant. We still win the Super Bowl. Like, he don't want quarterback. He finds a way to get it done. Josh, he done had some good teams, bro. In his winning years, recently, you talking about how much they won the division. They done won the division with some really good defenses, some really good offenses. Granted, he's a large part of the offense, not taking that away from him, running and throwing the ball. But with Gabe and with Stephon Diggs on opposite ends, bro. And again, that's why the impact of Diggs leaving and going to the Texans is going to up the Texans and lower the Bills. People don't really see it. I don't know how people really viewing Diggs. I still think Diggs one of them ones, though. I think Diggs is one of the ones that makes your job easier as a quarterback. So losing a guy like him and trying to replace him with a young rook, I like him, but we'll see. It's one of those. We'll see. Go ahead.
But also, they're going to run the ball more this year. And also, having Diggs, the second half of the year, Diggs ain't there. Diggs ain't the same. He's not the same. Last year, what did you do last year? Do you remember? I don't remember nothing about what you do last year. And sometimes Stephon Diggs could hurt Josh Allen because he's looking for Diggs. Because Diggs is not getting the ball. Diggs is asking for the ball. And sometimes he be force-feeding Stephon Diggs. So, and not spreading the ball around. So I think this is going to be good for both parties. Stephon Diggs going to the Texans. It's good for him. And then he's gone. Good for Josh Allen. And don't sleep. I think Curtis Samuel could be a very serviceable receiver for Josh Allen type. He can be what everybody thought Cole Beasley was going to be with Josh Allen. The Curtis Samuel is a good slot receiver. And Keon Coleman, that dude nice.
Keon is nice.
He's nice.
Yeah.
He's nice. So, but I think that James Cook is going to have a really good year. They're going to use James Cook a lot out of the backboard.
I think they're gonna have to, bro. I think they're gonna have to with the lack of, and it's not to disrespect the weapons. It's just I gotta see it, bro. We ain't seen it yet, so I gotta see how Coleman come out. I gotta see Curtis Samuel come out and ball in this offense. I gotta see it. I just don't have the type of faith in Josh that a lot of people have in Josh without the weaponry. I didn't see him play that well. Now, granted, he was young. He was young when they added Diggs. So maybe if they didn't add Diggs and he kept on, growing, then maybe. But I ain't seen him without him yet. So I gotta see him without it. But I have my lineup the way it's set up, and it's more so about me how I feel about the Bills and how I feel about the Dolphins, bro. To be real, because there's some real facts about the Dolphins. They really ain't beat no winning teams. But I got more confidence in Tua with those weapons than I do in Josh Allen right now without his. I just do. And I don't.
Beat up on teams like that. They beat up on bad teams.
I mean, and they gonna see some. They gonna see some. You know what I mean? Everybody they playing ain't cold. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, like I said, the Jets, bro. I really think they gonna be like that. I think the Jets gonna be like that.
Physical teams, the Dolphins struggle with, man.
That's true. That's
they
very
gotta
true.
Play a lot of. They gotta play some physical teams.
Real quick before we move on to the division we want to talk about, how you feel about the Bills' defense now, though?
See, that's iffy because last year they had injuries all last year. Mulatto was hurt last year. All last year they top players were hurt last year, and they still finished with a really good defense. So
at least they in the locker room, though.
Huh?
I say at least they can be locker room presence, though.
That's
not everything, but I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there.
I get you on that, but their head coach is a defensive guy, so he does a good job on the defensive side of the ball. Now, offensively, that's going to be the key for me with the Bills. I got to see because, like I said, they had injuries last year, and they still were able to maintain a really good defense. It wasn't like top 2 or nothing like that, but now I'm mistaken. They had the top 10 defense last year with all the injury. Mulatto, their linebacker got hurt early in the year. Their cornerback got hurt early in the year. They had injuries early in the year, and they still maintain that. So, but they're going to run the ball a lot. What's the defense back? Well, you said it earlier, right? The defense best friend with the Jets is to run the ball. I think no, you didn't say that. You said the offense. But if you run the ball, burn that clock, like they did the last 6 amount games of the year, and they went undefeated. They ran the ball a lot, and their defense played a lot better. Shout out to the Cowboys game.
Fair. All right, Joe. You know what it's time for, man. I think people are here. They waiting to hear about the division that features our 2 favorite teams, bro. That's Philadelphia and that's Washington. We talk about the NFC East. It's what we've been waiting on. It's what the fans been waiting on. It's what everybody been waiting on. Joe, we got the Commanders. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the Dallas Cowboys. Wow. And we got the Giants. Wow. How are you feeling this year about the NFC East, top to bottom or bottom to top? I'll give you the floor.
That's crazy. That's the order I wrote in my paper. Not the order of the division. That's the order I wrote in my paper and how you just called it out.
Okay.
First, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching. We've been on for an hour and 12. Y'all been sticking with us. I know we down to the last division. It's what I've been waiting for. Now, last year, I was a little delulu. All right, I was a little delulu. I admit, I was high on Eric Bieniemy when I should be high on Dan Quinn. Everything I said about Eric Bieniemy comparing to Mike Brown is what Dan Quinn is. Mike Brown took LeBron James to the NBA Finals, lost to the Spurs. Dan Quinn took Matt Ryan to the Super Bowl, lost to Tom Brady. Mike Brown went to another team as a defensive coordinator and turned that defense to one of the top defenses in the league. Dan Quinn left to go to another and change their whole defense around, became the number 1 turnover team in the league and one of the top defenses in the Cowboys. Both of them getting second head coaching opportunities, changing the whole culture for a franchise. But I'm not going to go too far. Number 4, the New York Giants. The New York Giants, GM, you're done, son. Shout out to Tomo. You're done. Hard Knocks came out. You capped Daniel Jones over Saquon. Daniel Jones throwing pick sixes in preseason, back-to-back interceptions. He's about to have a terrible year. I got the Giants being bad this year for sure. Bad. Number 3, the Commanders. Yeah, keep it a buck. The Commanders are number 3 this year. Listen, man, Jalen Daniels is a rookie. I'm still unsure how our offensive line is going to be. I don't know how well our offensive line is going to be. Based on what I've seen in the preseason, everything was quick. Everything's out quick. It also could be us not showing our hand. We got a new offensive coordinator first year. We got a new whole regime first year. And the moves that we're making, we got rid of KJ Henry today. We got rid of a lot of guys. And a lot of people are like, man, they could have helped y'all this year. But we are literally planning for the future and not week one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Right? We're not planning for week one. We're planning for years down the road. We're building a foundation for the future. Now, do I think our defense will be better? Heck yeah, because they were terrible. You can't be worse than we
Can
were
be
last
worse.
year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do I think our offense will be better this year? Yes. We're not going to have Jaden Daniels throw the ball many times. We're going to run the ball a lot more. We got Austin Eckler. We got Zach Ertz, a security blanket. All right. So, and we still got Terry McLaurin. But our second receiver is DeAndre Brown. We don't have a legit second receiver. So, although I think Jaden Daniels will be a superstar in this league, but this is not the year for it. It might be, but I'm not going to predict that. We're going to be third. Number 2, a close second. I got them losing by 1 game. The Cowboys. The Cowboys are number 2. Everybody like, oh, they make no move. Cowboys still got a good team, y'all. I don't know if y'all saw the roster. They still got a good team. Now, don't get me wrong. Bland got hurt, even though he's going to get burned up every single time. But anyway, don't forget, Dan Quinn is not there no more. Joe Witt Jr. is not there no more. So I don't know how the defense is going to be exactly, but I do think Michael Parsons approaching his contract year. He wants to be the highest paid non-QB in the NFL. He has to have a full good season. He can't have a good first half, and then the last 6-7 games of the year, this man get like 2 sacks. So Dak Prescott also approaching the contract year. I don't think Dak Prescott is going to replicate what he had last year, all pro, but I do think Dak Prescott will have a really good season. CeeDee Lamb just got his bread. So they still have a good roster, and they still good enough to win 10, 11 games, maybe 12. I don't know, but like they won 12 games the last 3 years. So I got the Cowboys being number 2 and number 1, and they should be number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, although I don't like the Eagles, all right, although I grew up disliking the Cowboys more than the Eagles. But ever since I met Cavo, shout out to Kev in the chat. Ever since I met AJ, shout out to AJ, my boy AJ. The dislike for Philly, the Philly green, I was thinking about changing the R2 color. That's how much I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles at all, and green is my favorite color. But I gotta be real. They went and got Saquon Barkley, y'all. Saquon Barkley. Although Jason Kelce is gone, but they are still going to have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in the NFL. And Saquon Barkley was working behind an offensive line for I don't know where they came from. I mean, guys in and out the lineup. I mean, they driving first round, second round picks. They get hurt. They can't stand the whole year. I've never seen a team that drives so many first and second round linemen and still have a bad offensive line. I don't know. But he worked behind that New York Giants line and was able to do what he did. Y'all saw what Swift was able to do last year when he got touches. Just imagine what Saquon Barkley will be able to do. His impact on his team, if they use him the right way, the impact C-Mac was to 49ers. That's how important and great Saquon Barkley could be with this team. They re-signed both of their receivers. They kept, you know what I mean? They all happy. Everybody happy. God was still. You know, the defense, they got a Ku Klux Klan. They went crazy. So shout out to Howie. Then they went and got Jahan Dawson. Jahan Dawson, don't get me wrong, had a bad training camp. The issue that we had with Jahan Dawson was what he's doing when the ball is not coming to him. Is he blocking for other receivers? Is he blocking for the running back? Right? Is he still beating this man even though he know the ball is not coming to him? That was the issue with Jahan Dawson. But with a new situation, being not the second receiver, right? First round overall pick, you coming in here as a third option at best, it's a humbling experience. Maybe it'll be better for him and he'll have a really good 500 yards, something like that. So, and then Jalen Hurts, it's a redemption season for him. I mean, he had a bad year last year. Without the tush push numbers, he was terrible. He wasn't really good. You know, you take away the tush push numbers, he was really basic and average. Right? Almost led league in turnover last year, but after being one of the most safest quarterbacks last year. So he's on a redemption tour. So, and lastly, nobody's gonna repeat in the NFC East. Like we just know that nobody's gonna repeat. So Philly's gonna be number one.
Oh man, been itching to talk about this all day today. Number 4. We're gonna start from the bottom and make our way to the top with this one. Number 4 is obvious. The Giants, like Joe said before, get them up out of there. Get them up out of there. You know that the Giants losing Saquon Barkley, a major chunk in their offense, a major chunk of their offense is going to hinder them a ton. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley was his best friend. A lot of times for the quarterback, the tight ends is your best friend. For him, it was Saquon. Saquon was his guy. Handing the ball off, check downs, wheel routes, all of that. That was all Saquon. He was the offense. So now losing him is huge. Neighbors, though, maybe a little what's the phrase I'm looking for? A prediction I shouldn't give just yet, because we giving those type of predictions later. But Neighbors, bro, that boy gonna be let's just leave it at he gonna be special. He gonna be very special. But the Giants, 4. I went back and forth on 3 for months. For months, I went back and forth on 3. But ultimately, I have to agree with Joe and put the Commanders at 3. I think the Commanders are going to win 10 games this year, though. I think it's going to be a 10-win team that might sneak into the playoffs and be a team that nobody really want to see in the playoffs this year. I'm pretty high on the Commanders, reluctantly, but I'm pretty high on the Commanders because of Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden is going to be one of them ones in this league. Now, maybe it's just favoritism and bias on my part because I like that type of quarterback. The Jalen Hurts, the Lamar Jackson, the Cam Newton, the Michael Vick. I like the running quarterback. That's one of my. It's just aesthetically pleasing to me to watch. I love the running quarterback. It's great, but he could also throw that ball pretty accurately. He could push the ball downfield. He could fit it in tight windows. The one question mark I have for him is, he smaller guy. Stay away from taking those big hits. You know what I mean? He took some big hits in college. You can't take them big hits in the pros. They will put you down. So we know that ask Richardson out there in Indianapolis. They will take you out. So you can't take them type of hits. But I do believe that he going to come out, and just like I said about Caleb, he's going to come out and have a similar rookie season where it's like, you know what to expect, but you kind of don't. The speed is going to catch guys by surprise. The accuracy going to catch people by surprise. The deep ball is going to catch a lot of teams like, yo, dude, really one of the ones. So I think it'll be good enough to get them to 10 wins this season. I also think we can't sleep on the addition of Eckler in that backfield. I think that's going to help him out a lot. I think that's going to help the young guy out a lot. So I like what they have. I do wish I don't literally wish, but for the sake of the Commanders, I wish they'd have held on to Dotson. I know he wasn't having the greatest, offseason, but I think it was a little too soon to give up on him. I really do. I think it was a little too soon to give up on him after having a really solid rookie season. But again, you more in tune with that than I am, Joe. So I lean towards you when it comes to, what he was doing, what he wasn't getting the ball. Sounds like we good with him being gone.
We got one more way.
Yeah, I listen. Hey, I ain't gonna push back on it too much. I guess I'll see this year. I got Dallas coming in second, but I only have them winning 11 games this year. So I think they are separated. I think they split with the Commanders this year. I think the Eagles also split with the Commanders this year. I think we take an L to the Commanders. And I think that the top is going to be separated. The top going to be separated by 2 games, but that second and third is going to be separated by 1 game. It's going to be tight. But like I said about the Niners, I can't just all of a sudden debunk the Cowboys from first to third in the division. I can't do that yet. I still believe in CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott coming off an all-pro season. They don't have a really good running game right now. I have questions about the head coach. You brought up the cornerback getting hurt. I mean, Diggs is also fresh off of an ACL tear this season. And I know Mike is still looking to get paid at some point too later down the line. So I know he's going to come out balling as well. I have a lot of respect for them, but I got questions though. I got questions about another team that, we finally was knocking at that door. This was our year to get to the NFC Championship game. Last year was the year. And then you go out there and you get smoked by the 7th seed in smoked by the 7th seed in a conference. That's tough. Not tough enough to fall to 4th or 3rd, but tough enough to come off that number one spot in the division. Now let's get to Philadelphia. Joe, has been a whole lot of disrespect, man. And I'm here to set the record straight. I've been itching to talk about this. I've been itching to do this. What was the issues with the Philadelphia Eagles last year? Some of the biggest issues with the Philadelphia Eagles last year was the coaching staff. I've said this before, and I've said this again. Jalen was a problem too, and I'll get to him in a second. But the main issues was the coaching staff. Players didn't, whether they want to admit it or not, the players didn't believe in the coaching staff. I don't even think the coaching staff believed in the coaching staff because we decided to fire our defensive coordinator mid-season to bring in somebody else who made the situation worse. So what do you do if you're Howie Roseman? We know the coaching staff was a issue. We go and replace the coaching staff. We go and get I'm blanking on his name right now. Kellen Moore from the Chargers, who I am very high. I know a lot of Cowboy fans like to throw shots. I'm very high on Kellen Moore with a mobile quarterback and all of these weapons. Very high on that. You replace the defensive coordinator with a coordinator that's been around the game for a long time. He hasn't always been the best, but he's been around for a long time, so he knows how to adjust. He knows how to dumb down the game plan at times. He knows how to spice up the game plan at times. And one thing that they say about him, hey man, he makes sure the team is prepared going into every matchup. You know your assignment, you know what you're gonna do, and he's gonna make sure the best players are on the field. So to me, it takes care of that issue. You know, our head coach ain't out there trying to call plays no more. Sirianni ain't out there trying to take over because you got two coordinators that you trust. Okay, we'll let you do it, and he could be the CEO head coach that he want to be. Cool. That's where he's at his best, where he can sit back and let the coordinators take care of their job. What was another issue for us last year? Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was turning the football over. Jalen Hurts was not playing to the best of his abilities. I think coming off of a Super Bowl appearance, coming off of getting paid, having a little injury throughout the year, I think it hampered him a bit. I think this offseason, me and Kev talked about this off the record. I think Jalen Hurts came into the season, you know, a little, I won't say feeling himself too much, but I just think he came into the season like, all right, we good, we got this. And he didn't change much of his game. Didn't really change much anything. Didn't really make any adjustments and thought what worked the previous year is going to work this year. And it didn't. The moment he got hurt a little bit, it shook things up, right? So that was the issue. I expect Jalen Hurts to be a lot better. Personnel defensively, the linebackers was an issue. So what do? You go and get Devin White. I love that addition. I think he's going to be a great addition for this team. A guy that is still young in the league and trying to prove himself to get the next big contract. We needed grit in the locker room. We need an attitude back in the locker room. Howie said, I made a mistake last offseason. I made a mistake, and I'm willing to admit it. Yo, CJ, come on back, bro. We need you. We need you. Come on back, bro. How much money you want? Here you go. Come back to Philly. So now we got grit. We got attitude back. We got a playmaker back in that secondary. You still have Slay. You go and draft arguably the best two corners, which was also an issue for us, the cornerback position. You go and draft the best two corners, in my opinion, or I'm high on the Wiggins for the Ravens too. Let's just say at least top three. Two of the top three corners in the draft this offseason. And Cooper DeJean and the boy from Toledo. Like, every issue that you had, you found a way to address. And now you coming into this season fresh. You don't have the Super Bowl hangover no more. You ain't got to worry about, dang, the Cowboys just won the Super Bowl or the Niners just won the Super Bowl. The Chiefs did it again. All right. It's a refresher. The moment the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, AJ Brown was in the gym. New season. It was like, okay, cool. We good. It's fresh. I think the Eagles are coming out with something to prove this year. I think the Eagles are coming out hungrier than ever this year. Them type of players in our locker room don't take disrespect too well back-to-back seasons. Coming off of a season like that, if you the type of dog I think you are, you're not coming into the season the same way. And again, you said it, bro. Saquon in his offense. Where now you got to worry about AJ. You got to worry about Devontae. You got to worry about Dallas in the middle of the field. You got to worry about handing the ball off to Saquon. And all else fails, Jalen can still run. Eagles going to be a serious problem for teams to deal with. A serious problem. I got the Eagles winning 13 games this year, winning this division by at least 2 games. I do think they take a few divisional L's to Dallas and to Washington. But I think ultimately the Eagles will be right back where they belong at the top of the division and at the top of the NFC.
I do like the Devin White move. I thought that was a big move y'all did. CJ, you already know how I feel about CJ. you know. But I mean, y'all supposed to win. Y'all remind me of the Celtics in the East. I mean, the Celtics, you got the roster. I mean, you don't win. It's a disappointment. If the Eagles don't win this division, it's a disappointment.
Major
I
disappointment.
mean, how we did this thing? How we grabbed a knife? I mean, he went in the kitchen, cooked up a good meal for y'all. I mean, is y'all appetite too big or too small? What's going on? Right? So y'all have the roster to make it happen. I think y'all should be able to do it. But all I know is I don't want to hear no excuses this year. That's all I know. You know, I don't want to hear no excuses because y'all got everything in place.
Hey,
So let's see. But I'm glad you hiring the Commanders. Though. I was surprised. What you said
yeah.
about the Commanders?
I mean, we talked a bit about that off the record too. I think the Commanders gonna be really good this year, and the reason why I say they're gonna split with us, bro, is because like, bro, they always give us a run. Last few years, even us at our apex, they gave us a run and beat us. They knocked our undefeated streak out, and then last year I thought we was gonna smoke y'all. I'm like, we finna smoke these guys, and man, we was battling out there. I'm like, bro, we better not lose to these. We better not lose these games, bro. We better not. And lo and behold, we came through. But now with Jaden and an improved defense, I believe an improved offense, you know, better coaching. I think we're going to drop one of them games to them this year. It would shock me if we didn't. It would shock me if we didn't drop at least one game to them this year. And I would say I don't think we're going to drop it in Philly, but I would think in Washington, depending on where, I forget how the schedule falls, I think we're going to drop one in Washington. I think we're going to drop one in Washington. And I wouldn't be shocked if we lose that first. I don't expect us to. I wouldn't be shocked if we lost that first game in Dallas. Because Dallas played great at the crib.
Yeah,
So
I got y'all winning on each other's turf.
Yeah, like, you know, that's usually how it happened every year. That's usually how it happened every year. But Philly though, y'all keep on thinking last year is this year. It's a new season, y'all. Just like, you know, I thought the same Eagles was coming back that won the Super Bowl, and it clearly wasn't the same Eagles. The Eagles y'all saw last year, not the Eagles that's coming up this season. So while y'all think I'll be disappointed in all of that, y'all stay tuned to Unfazed all season. Y'all stay tuned.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a good season.
Yes,
It's
sir.
gonna be a
Yes,
good
sir.
year. It's gonna be a good year. Man, great. It was a great first episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Next week we're gonna talk about, you know, the rewards. You can tell me we're gonna talk about AJ next week.
Yeah, but next week I think
Yeah.
we're gonna get into, you know, a few big time week one predictions. You know what I mean? Talk about week one just to touch. We ain't gonna go down every single game, but we're gonna touch on that a bit. We're gonna touch on, you know, playoff seeding, because we haven't really gotten to the playoff seeding just yet. So we're gonna touch on, you know, a bit of playoff seeding. And I also want to throw this out there. I haven't set it up yet, but me and Joe doing a pick 'em this year, y'all. We doing a pick 'em. So while we're not going to touch on every single game, every single week, we are going to touch on the marquee big time games, and we're going to keep track of our records and picking every game. So y'all going to see how accurate we are going up against each other. You know, it's competitive battle between the two of us, man. So I'm actually set that up tonight. I haven't done it yet. So set that up before the season start. And yeah, man, it's a special episode coming up right before kickoff.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna do some awards too, MVPs and stuff like that.
That's what I was missing. So I was like, what was that other?
Right.
It was the awards. There you go. Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure a topic gonna pop up. We're gonna discuss that. But let's get some last word. I'm gonna go first. My last word. First of all, shout out to everybody who's here. You know, appreciate y'all for staying to the end. We appreciate y'all for being in the comments throughout the whole, from the start to the finish. I'm excited to do this for my boy AJ, man. Like, we had a lot of battles off and on the show, right? On the show and in the chats. Right, we had conversations outside of, you know, the sports world, you know, personal conversations, you know. So once again, shout out to my boy for getting married. Me and my wife are approaching our 10th year. I know it's not until February though; it's a long time from now, but it's
still a major congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate that. And shout out to my boy Kevo for also timing out. He got married a couple of days ago. Shout out to my boy Joseph Holmes and Danny and Joe Holmes. Shout out to them for getting married. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a great season. Let's get it, man. That's all I got for y'all.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all as well for tuning in for the whole episode. I think we went a little longer than we thought we was gonna go, low key. But that's, you get the two of us on camera, we get to debating a little bit, then it's like, oh snap, we losing track of time. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I think this episode is gonna be a banger all season long. You know, y'all know the type of energy the two of us bring, not only for basketball, you know, or not only for the NFL, but for basketball and for UFC and every other sport you could think of that's relevant. Whatever's popping, we will be talking about. Shout out to Joe for just being a great person, bro. Just a great overall person, bro. It's not much else you could say other than the man's a great person. Shout out to the whole R2L network, every show that there is. It's a pleasure for me to be on this channel. I love being on this channel with y'all. And y'all, being in the comments and interacting with y'all pretty much every day, if I'm being honest. So I vibe with all of y'all. And shout out to the birds. Shout out to the Lakers. You know what I mean? Shout out to the wife who's supporting me. And every step of the way while I do this, I know I'm on. She probably like, I knew you was going to be like 2 hours. I'm sorry. But all in all, man, I appreciate y'all. And y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. It's going to be another exciting episode.
Let's get it. That's all we got for y'all today. We'll see y'all at the next episode. We remain unfazed.
Unfazed.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.